Welcome back to the Springbok Dream Team as we are talking number 14, the right winger. And for the first time in the Bok Dream Team show, we actually have a winner from the previous week. But we thought, we're having Jaque Fourie here, it would be the biggest story of the day. But Juicy J, who you've got, I don't know how to describe this outfit, but I want you to go first. Like, you've taken the shine off Jaque Fourie.
Our number 13.
Our number 13 in the Bok Dream Team. You've taken it away from him now.
No. I didn't take it away from anyone.
Yes.
All right. So the inspiration behind this, we're celebrating 30 years of super sport, right? 30 years since the Springbok won the World Cup back in 1995. Springbok Dream Team, right? The legend is here with us, He won last week, number 13 jersey. And I took it up to myself, right? Since we're going to have the legend in the building, right? Let me give him his flowers, literally.
Yet you are wearing the flowers.
No, my brother, listen, you didn't bring him flowers. I did.
I hear you.
Apparently, they're off camera now, but we'll show them. But for now, he can just look at me. Yeah, understand? A flower for the legend, I know what, I'll get you your flowers as well.
Please.
Thanks.
Jaque Fourie, thank you so much for joining us. You've won a lot in your illustrious career, but where does Juicy's outfit rank in terms of achievements that and gifts that you've gotten in your career, World Cups and all?
That's way up there, Juicy. I mean, I did not take someone to my matric farewell, but if I can go back now a few years, I would have easily taken you to my matric farewell. Without a doubt.
Brilliant. Me?
Yeah.
Jaque Fourie, matric farewell.
Hey?
But you have to wear a shirt, though. That's the only rule.
With the shirt, please.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, but I thought we'll be showing off our chests, but it's fine.
Ricky, how are you, partner? Because
I'm trying to process all of this, what's happening here. I mean, like you said, we're sitting with our number 13, the best 13 in Springbok history, and next to me is a pink element just distracting me. But all good. The Bok Leef, what a weekend. Excited to select our number 14 this week.
But before we go to number 14, Jaque, to be named, that the people have voted you as the number 13 in the Bok Dream Team. Massive achievement. And also, you're up against Jesse Kriel, look on your arms. Personally, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the opportunity. It's a massive honor and a privilege to sit here and to be the best 13 in a Bok Dream Team. Like you said, there were some wonderful players. Look on your arm. Jesse Kriel, if you have a look at Andre Snyman that I play with a little bit. Yapi Mother, that was my hero, 95, growing up. That was my ultimate hero at 13. So for me, it's an honor and privilege to be named the best 13. Nothing to take away from the other guys. They were unbelievable in their own right.
Yeah. And also now, like the company you sit in, we discussed last week some of the guys you played against on the Conrad Smith, Brown, O'Driscolls. I'm sure for you, being named, also those guys, and when guys spoke in your career was an honor as well. And also, what was it like going up against such illustrious 13s? It felt like every week was a tough game.
Yeah, I think from my side, I actually came in later in my career to play against those guys. If you have a look at Tana Umaga for New Zealand, sure. Then you play against O'Driscoll, the island player. Then Conrad Smith came after Umaga. So there was some unbelievable players that we played against. But as a Springbok side, that's the players that you want to play against week in and week out to measure yourself so that you can become the best in the world.
Yeah.
Ricky, we voted for Mossie.
Yeah, that's what I was going to bring to the forefront here.
And there's flowers here.
Flowers were brought, but Mossie, I want to tell you, I was the only one that voted for you in this panel discussion last week.
Brilliant, thanks.
So you've had my vote.
God, thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
But also, just on that, we were also getting to know you. A lot of people don't know where your nickname Mossie comes from, because Mossie's like a Cape Sparrow. It's a little bird, and you're not a little bird.
Well, to be honest, standard 6, I was a little bird.
Oh, wow.
I think I went into Monash. I think I weighed probably 65 kilograms. And my matric, I went to hostel, so there was still initiation, bad initiation. So each matric had 6, standard 6 as that. I was up 5 o'clock in the morning, go sit his toilet warm. At 5 in the morning, So, and then I packed his bag, and then I had to do his cupboard and stuff. So, and he looked at me and said, "Listen, I'm going to give each one of you a nickname. I'm going to start with you." He looked at me like they said, "Turn around." I said, "No, I'm going to call you Mossie." I said, "No, but why are you calling me Mossie? Where did you go?" He said, "No, you've got thin legs and a big bum. So, you are Mossie. So, and that stuck right
It's
through.
stuck forever.
That stuck forever.
Yo.
And that's my nickname, Mossie.
Yo,
Yeah.
Mossie.
It's brilliant. And also, life after rugby, the coaching life, you enjoying it? Defensive coaching makes sense. I mean, after the way you play that, and how are you finding that?
Yeah, it's unbelievable working with the young players. We've got South Africa's got such a massive pool of young players, individual brilliance that we're coaching at the Lions. It's been a good transition from playing to rugby. I sit in front of a laptop now for most of my time after trainings, but it's good. You know, the satisfaction you get if you have a look at a guy like Morne van der Berg that you've been coaching now for 4 or 5 years, coming through the ranks. It's actually such a good feeling knowing that he's at the Springboks and he's doing well. So yeah.
I love he says like he's singing in front of the laptop. His partner is leading podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, JDV's got. What was that like? I mean, you and JDV. I mean, I feel like we attached to the hip at the Stormers, and then obviously for the Springboks. I know Damon Delaney and
Yes.
and Jesse Kilso took your record away. But what does that partnership up and what worked?
Yeah, that partnership was unbelievable. A guy like Jean, you guys know Jean now, probably one of the greatest rugby minds out there that you played with, that I played with. He just did his thing on inside centre, and I just worked off him. It was quite easy, and I think we gelled quite well the first test that we played against Australia at Ellis Park when we started playing together, and that was the start of a real great relationship on and off the field. We were really good friends. Ons het baie nonsens aangejaag saam.
Ja, julle twee is baie saam.
Ja, ons het baie nonsens aangejaag saam. So that was, and you can only, when you get to learn someone like that on the other level, on a personal level, it can only go better on the field for you when you play. So that's why we had such a good understanding on and off the field.
We need Juicy now to. So if you see Jean again, are you gonna have another blazer for Jean? Because it's a combination.
No, listen, I've got every outfit for every legend. Unfortunately, I haven't displayed some of them, so.
So it's still coming, it's still loading.
No, don't worry, my brother. I've got this on lock. And also, just to put you at ease, legend. Don't let these two come between us. We have a good foundation now.
Juicy's not on the same relationship.
Yeah. We started off well.
Definitely. Don't let them. Last week is last week.
Yes.
Last week's mistakes. Last week's. We're looking to the future now. Yes.
Only learn from our mistakes.
Overcompensation, but
It's time to make sure. But listen, we got to talk 14s, and we got to look and try and see. I mean, who's going to be in that number 14 in that dream team? But Juicy, number 14, because Juicy's what most of whatever Juicy, he's our resident expert. He's played every position basically on the field. And Juicy spent a lot of time on the wing, myself included as well. But what are you looking for in number 14?
No, listen, man. I think for me, also someone that's very good in the air, aerial battles, because oppositions tend to target the number 14 jersey, especially in the air, right? Obviously a superb finisher. I mean, we've had a lot of those, in the number 14 jersey. Someone that brings that X factor in there. Also someone that's going to be very good of set-piece plays, striking zones. Someone that also helped the fullback cover at the back. Because sometimes we tend to think that it's only the fullback that must really just have that, that covering awareness. So the number 14 plays a very big role in that as well. So as you said, I've been expecting these positions, pal. Especially in touch rugby.
God, thank you. I mean, he's like you said, he's a pundit. He gives us wonderful rugby insight, but now he's sitting in the floral.
And this is the most serious he's been.
Exactly.
And for you, Mossie, number 14, you've dabbled a little bit in the wing. What are you looking for in a number 14?
Yeah, I think a winger has changed like it was in the past. If you ever look when I started playing, it was big wingers, a Dean Hall, a guy like Stefan Terblanche. The Stormers had small nippy wingers that when they get the ball, they finishers, chip kick over them, catch again, score tries. That role has changed a lot over the years. If you ever look at the way the Springboks are playing, or the way the teams are playing, wingers are there, it's not just there to catch a ball when it's kicked to them. They also, when we do a kick, they need to go fetch that ball out of the air, finish tries, work, we call it wings on strings at the back with your 15 and the other winger. That's not just there, standing on a wing and waiting for the ball anymore. It is literally working non-stop to create the play 16 on the open side again, you know, where teams like, you know, Ulster, all of those guys, Glasgow, if they 14s are working on strings the whole time to create the overlap on the other side. So that role has changed a little bit.
And Ricky, for you, I mean, 8-9-14 is the bread and butter.
Go to.
But Paul Ross was 8-9 though, when you were there.
8-9, no, I dummied it. I always dummied the 14. I was never passing. But in all seriousness, and to add on that point, that work rate of a 14 is of utmost importance. I think we saw it with Edwell as well the past weekend, working from his side, looking for work.
Yes.
And that's what you want in your wingers, to almost sort of bail out on defense. Because as a scrum off as well, I'm always you're just lurking at the back, and sometimes there's 2 or more players breaking the line, and then you need your wingers to assist with that defense.
Yeah.
I know. But we got you guys at home. We want you to vote. We want you to be involved. You scan the QR code. But I need to give the nominations to see who the people can vote for.
Yes, please.
It's a very strong list once again.
Making
So we've got Cheslin Kolbe, JP Pietersen, Brayton Paulser, James Small, and Stefan Terblanche. Oh, guys, I mean, every week we always say this, that each category gets harder and harder. But this one, Ricky, even for you personally, it means something. We spoke about Brayton. He was on the show a couple of weeks ago. Speaking about, I think he was here for the locks.
Brayton gave some wonderful insight.
Sorry, Brayton was here for tighted prop.
Yeah.
But I mean, Brayton Paulser, to start there, Ricky, I mean, probably, you know, we have a Cheslin Kolbe now, but there's no Kolbe's without a Brayton Paulser.
Yeah, I think for me, and this is, I don't think I've ever said this before, but when I started off rugby, I wanted to play 14 because of a Brayton Paulser. I mean, I did flick flacks after scoring a try just because he's really, I mean, I'm not big in stature, I'm a short guy, but he really pioneered the way for the little guys to show that we can play test level rugby. He showed it with his explosiveness. I have fond memories of watching him at Newlands, when Newlands was the thing. How to be in the Western Province team in the 90s and the 2000s. Mossie, you will know it's a special. So I think Brayton, a guy from the Bokke veld in Ceres, against all odds, someone also believed in him, and to achieve the heights that he's achieved is absolutely phenomenal. And now, even him being a pundit on with us at Supersport, the value you can hear, he's a rugby brain as well. So, definite, perfect nomination for this category.
Even you talk about the heights he's achieved, I think his biggest height is the flick flacks and the height you got.
But in saying that, I saw a thing on YouTube where Ricky did try that, but he did the front pommel. Not the back one.
I did it with the back one.
That's why I never attempted it again.
You play with Brady. I mean, like, it's so. You mentioned like you coming from the Dean Halls and big wingers. We'll talk about James Small as well. And then you got this little nippy pocket rocket now.
It's like I said, I played a lot of days with Brayton. He was just an unbelievable, you know, a senior guy in the group that gave you just that calmness in defence. You know, you always knew he was there. You always, you know, the tries that he scored, like we said, was unbelievable tries. And it's, I think each one of these players that's on the screen here has paved the way in their own way where South African rugby is now for wingers and for the next generation to come.
So good.
You see, why I want to saw the Brayton, because I want to go all over here, because like your outfit is all over the place. So I want to go all over here, but you go from Brayton, you fast forward all the way to Cheslin Kolbe. You know, said he was too small. Everyone thought, like, you know what, he's going to make it, like where's he going to play? Goes to France, kills it at Toulouse. Fantastic. We almost forgot about him, but Rassi comes aboard, sees him there, and then now, I mean, what a career he's had. I mean, one of the best players in the world. You can probably step anyone in a phone booth. I mean, what are your thoughts on Cheslin?
No, listen, Cheslin is one phenomenal talent. I think, you know, also there's nothing this guy cannot do. You know what I mean? Like, nothing limits him. You know, not his body size, not his height, nothing at all. You know, like, he is just extraordinary. Someone just like can also drop kick. Also can play hooker if he wants to, you know, come and throw the ball.
Kick the balls.
Do you know what I mean? And it's just a story as well when you are told no consistently. And, you know, I mean, your dream as a rugby player, and especially you played it at a high level, and what he was doing at the Storm was at fullback at the time, and just a coach telling you, or coaches telling you, dude, you have to play scrum off or go to scrum off, which I'm sure he can play scrum off as well, but go to scrum off if you actually want to be a Springbok. And for him to wait his time, and he hit the sweet spot, and he's just definitely one of the best players in the world for me now currently. I'm not, you know what I mean? Because everyone defense as well. He tackles big guys. He, runs over hookers, extraordinary power as well. He's a phenomenal athlete. I'm really proud to see where Cheslin is, and is definitely a motivator for anyone, that's a rugby lover.
To add on to, and Mossie, I think you would agree, when Soy's coach, Soy's the brain, always said you need to get players one-on-one. Yes. And I think Cheslin is one guy that at training sessions, when we play together, you don't want to be that one-on-one versus
him. It makes you look ridiculous in front of him,
So, that is what I think you as a coach would also say, that is always in a 15-man game on the field, you want to get your player one-on-one. And I want to say 10 out of 10 times, Ches is going to beat you.
Ches will beat you. But was you saw as a youngster when you were the Stormers?
Yes.
I mean, was the feat that dangerous at that age already?
Yeah, unbelievable player. If you have a look at, and then when we were at the Stormers, we had a similar guy like Hugh Applon there. That was unbelievable also for the Stormers and for the Springboks, and he did the same thing. So I think for those guys that was there as youngsters, saw Hugh Applon and said, hey, he's not big, he's not small, but for pound, that guy was unbelievable. He can run over anyone, he can run around everyone, defensively, in the air. And I think for those youngsters to see that probably inspired them to say, listen, I can also do that one day. And where Cheslin is now, like you say, he's probably one of the best rugby players in the world right now.
Do you think, because Wade van Niekerk is his cousin, do you think him and Chesy, all of us played Dreyfus?
Yeah.
Do you think him and Wade took races to get the agility and speed ready? Then maybe they can answer that for us, Wade and Chesy.
No, it must be. But also, when we had Victoria, we asked him what was in his arm guard. We need to ask Cheslin, what is in the scrum cap? There's superpower. Because why is he running into forwards so aggressive? Cheslin hit a point, I think maybe it was after the second World Cup, he decided, you know what, I've achieved everything in rugby, now I'm just going to bounce forwards. Because if I don't need to sidestep him, I'm just going to bounce forwards. But, I mean, what a special player. I mean, Rick, he kicks for poles in his, he's played fullback, to lose, he's even played at Flav. It just shows that he's not just, a guy you can put in a box, he's just a sidestepper.
I think again, we've mentioned on numerous occasions on the show as well that the versatility is really a great thing to have within this landscape of rugby that we are now at. And I mean, to know that you have a Cheslin Kolbe in the mix that can play scrum off as well. I was nervous back in the day when I was still playing that he's gonna take my position on numerous occasions, but rightfully so, he can take any position. But I think he definitely adds so much value, and his pedigree and the fact that he has so many accolades behind his name, it speaks volumes.
No, that's big. I wonder when Jaque was the Stormers, he saw Gio in his scrum cap, superpowers, and Cheslin in his scrum cap. Did you think of maybe putting one on as well?
I've got too big of a head. I won't put right with that. So no, not at all. Not at all.
But to go back 30 years, as Juicy mentioned, and before selling us flowers, we had James Small there in 95 World Cup. I think, Mossie, he's probably known, the first thing people think of him against Jonah Lomu.
Yes.
I mean, that's a long day in the office, but James Small, I think the other parts of the game gets underrated, and the job he did and the work he did in that 95, so a hard man defensively, but also a good finisher as well, and a good team man. If you're going to get a scrap on every field, you want that guy with you.
Yeah, I think growing up, like I said, 95 team, if you have a look at those players, backline James Small, Japie Mulder, Henny Leroux, those guys were unbelievable players. Chester Williams. But the bad boy, they always call him the bad boy, James Small. He just brought that, never die attitude. You're not going to go past me, and I'm going to go over you. That was James Small. That was how he lived on the field. So, like I said, always, hard guy on the field.
It's funny with that, the 95 World Cup final. We've spoken to Ghana about Jonah, but for James Small, Ricky, he is going up directly. So it's not like the coach is talking like, we're going to try this plan. It's like, but But most of the time, he's not running at me. I must look at him in the eye.
And he took it upon himself. I think, I was sitting in the spur and obviously embracing all of this, watching this. But I mean, Jonah Lomo was on everyone's lips.
Yeah.
But there was one guy that said, if this is going to be the big name, I'm going to take him down. And that's James Small's character. I think that tenacity, that in Afrikaans we say, "I hond," that dog you have in you. I almost said the other word, but that dog that you have in you.
We want to say, Rick, no one knows his real age because he was apparently 14 to the 95 World Cup final. And he called James Small, because you saw his debut, he called him early saying, this is a hard man, right?
Yeah.
Can you stop now with Ankia?
But then from there, you're going to the likes of, Stefan Terblanche and Mossie, you told us, you learned the hard way that he is a hard man. Never mind just...
No, the hard way, the real hard way.
3 in camp?
Yeah, no, well, like I said, 2003 World Cup, getting announced, going to the World Cup, going to Kamp Staaldraad, small tell quickly, and then we get in there. And so the one day after we did a whole lot of stuff, tired, sitting there, now we're going to box against each other. So we sit in this dirt corner with rocks around, everyone's sitting, and then Coach Rudolph calls out the names, and everyone goes and everyone's, fighting. As it gets less and less, I'm having a look around.
And Mossie, you 20 years old at the time?
I'm 20 years old, I'm 20 years old, and I'm seeing, I wasn't small. So I'm looking, I'm measuring up, and I'm looking, I'm saying, okay, I can't fight against this guy, that guy's too small. Brighty is also too small, And then I look and I saw Stefan Terblanche. I'm waiting for this now. So then they called me, Mossie, it's Stefan. So now we boxing. A week before that, at trainings, Joe van Niekerk coat hanged me on the face. Now my nose is broken, my eyes is blue, and I don't have any front teeth.
Oh my word!
So now I'm there, and I didn't have time to go fix it. So now I'm Kamp Staaldraad. So now we're boxing, and it's real. You're eating. It's 3 rounds of 1 minute. And you have to finish it. I mean, if they knock you out, they wake you up and say, you have to go again. There's no getting out of it.
No HIA,
no getting out of it. We had our doctor was Uli Schmid. So he was like, he's not, but he come. So in the last second, we're fighting for the last second. Stefan hits me on the nose, straight on the nose. So now my eyes are watering, and I'm looking around. I'm like, thank goodness. But tough guy. After that, everything that we did, also one of the senior guys, good guy to be around, always picked the guys up and said, come guys, we're going. Tough guy. Sure. Never said, listen, we're not going to do that. We are going to do it, come, we have to go. So, really good guy to chat around those times.
And Cooks, how is that guy still in the shape of his life?
Yeah.
We are striving to be lean and stuff, and that guy still looks like...
I need Stefan and Juicy J to come together.
To get together.
Just to sit down at the gym.
No. Since he's knocking people out and no teeth, I want my teeth and my nose. I'm sorry, because the kind of workouts that I'm thinking he's used to, are very intense.
No, but you'll be training with him, rowing and...
Oh, it's fine.
But if you don't listen...
No,
cardio.
no
but if you don't listen, then you're going to...
No boxing, no.
Boxing.
I'm sorry, no.
Cardio.
You see, do you think you'd survive Kamp Staaldraad,
Yo, my brother, no. Me, I am...
Mossie, he rocked up in this suit at Kamp Staaldraad.
Sure. Actually, no one, but they wouldn't have. I can't. No one did.
a bit of a socky here.
No one did.
I wonder who Juicy J would have to fight. But Ricky, quickly, just to end on Stefan Terblanche, underrated finisher. I mean, scored tries for fun. And I mean, on debut, I think he scored 5 tries on debut. And then against Ireland in finals, he was scoring 4 tries. It's such an unappreciated gift he has, his ability to finish.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, there's always 2 things when one is commentating that sort of we go cliches that a wing mustn't get tackled out, and he must score and he must be able to finish.
Yes.
So and that is what Stefan did. If you get him the ball, doesn't even need a lot of space even. He will get that 5 points on the scoreboard. So I think the ultimate professional as well. That's, again, what you want in your team setup, in your team environment. And you can see it with his lifestyle, I think, just holistically. And what a brilliant player, what a brilliant finisher, like you've mentioned as well.
We're talking about brilliant finishers and brilliant players. Juicy J, JB Pietersen. What a rugby player. Started as a fullback, moves to wing and becomes one of our greatest wings. I think in 07, 09, the size, defense. It ticked every box.
No, listen, bro. Like, and that's exactly what I said to you before. You know, ideally the perfect 14 for me. You know, someone that's tall because he's going to be able to handle those high balls very nicely. And that's what he did. You know, the fact that he played for the Sharks as well. You know, and did massively well in that Sharks jersey. Back in the top 14 and was one of the best players at that time. Also, I like the way that he thinks. Very intelligent player. You know, I met him at the airport. I think it was last year. I think we're still coaching the juniors. So I'm sitting down in Mug and Bean and I'm really like chowing a big burger, like a double burger of some sort. Yeah. So I'm having a go at this thing, and then the next thing I get a tap from him. He's like, bro, it's not going anywhere. It's like, JP hit. So one of those, greatest moments also for me, look, as a rugby fan, because I never really got to see him outside, what he does on the field. And, phenomenal player, phenomenal coach now as well.
And also, Mossie, you spent a lot of time with him. One of the, we speak about the 07 World Cup, no one talks about how underrated he was in that World Cup. You get the game again with Fourie against England 3-6-0.
Yes.
He scored, JP scored twice. Yes. The tackle against Fiji.
In the final.
The final, you played a lot, you had him on your outside quite a bit. What is he like as a teammate?
Yeah, JP was one of those players, and the player was then, and the person that he is now is JP. He never changed. He is the most calm guy on the field. You couldn't get him rattled. He was just big. When he ran, he flipped and ran over guys. He ran around guys. He went up in the air, and he scored unbelievable tries. And then, like you say, in the 2007 World Cup, the tries he scored was unbelievable. So, like I said, I played with most of these guys, and each one of them has got a different attribute. But, JP was one of those guys that had everything. He could go up in the air. He could, like I said, he could have been physical. He can go around you. And he did that with finesse. He was not flustered. He stayed calm, and that made it so easy for the guys on his inside.
And also, he played in the air also, so fantastic wingers. And the guys was on the level, the Shane Williams, he's got a mark against, the Rocco Thokos, those are the guys he's going against. And most of the times, outplayed them.
Yes. No, every single time, he just rose to the occasion. Whoever it was, like I said, he did it with so much calmness. Like it was actually a privilege to play with him, next to him. You could, like I said, he made it look easy. And he played against flippant top players. You said Roko Koko, he played at Sevivatu. He played against, the Irish wingers he played against, the England wingers we played against was unbelievable players. But every single time he played against those guys, he made sure he won that battle that he had that day, and he came out on top.
And Nick, you mentioned his rugby IQ. He started off as a fullback, then moves to wing. At the end of the career, he ends at 13. It just shows that he's more than just a guy that hugs the touchline and catches high balls and chases ball all day.
Yeah, and I think that's what we mentioned last week as well in the show of a 13, and that's why the legend is sitting here, because there's so much going on, decision-making that goes on, but I think also all of that different positions prepared him to also somewhat comfortably go into that 13 role, go into the different roles that he did play. So I think he's a phenomenal player. Mossie, you guys now coaching up against each other. Is there a little personal battles that go on between the two of you?
Not really. It's lucky actually playing against old mates that has become coaches now. And like I said, JP is one of those guys, happy-go-lucky. There's nothing that flustered him. He'll rock up there, hey, Mossie, like a child, doesn't talk rugby. How's the family doing? How are you doing? Just an all-down, down-to-earth good guy, which is also lucky, when you coach against each other. It's not always rugby. He'll come and chat to you about other stuff, and it's more relaxed. So it's really good.
And also, you guys a question before we vote.
Is it a trivia?
No, not a trivia. Okay. Just ask you guys to make some picks. We were going to vote for number 14, but with the centres, we spoke about combinations. But now with the wings, in South Africa, we've been blessed in the 30 years with great pairs of wingers. 95, we got Chester Williams, James Small. And then, so we're looking at Brian Bennett, JB Pietersen, Kurtley Orange, and Kolbe. Which pair are you picking? Yes. Because you have flowers to give. So
Give the people their flowers now.
You've got one flower to give.
And that's to you. Ja, Cooks, that's a very tough one, mate. So this is a winger combination. 14 and 11.
Yeah.
Current, old.
Just out of those three, you can mix it up if you want.
Yeah, Andas, I don't know.
Juicy, thank you. People need your thoughts, your wisdom. Juicy, thank you so much for that wonderful insight for the people voting who are scanning the QR code. Juicy, thank you so much for that insight. Well done. That's the best insight you've given the whole season. Ricky, can you give us more than I don't know?
Again, because of my sort of personal affiliation with Brady and like really looking up to him, I would put Brady there as my one wing, and just because of Chesley's X factor, and because he's the world's best player, and the other, because Chesley can play, he can step off both feet, so we'll play him on 11, and yeah.
And who's your combo most out of the wingers?
I've got because I'm the guest,
Yes.
I'm not allowed to vote. I mean,
No.
I've played with each, except now with James Small and for Cheslin. I've played with the other guys a few games with them. Each, like I say again, each one of them has had their hand to pave for the wingers in South African rugby. So if I could vote, I would have all of them on my outside. So I've got that honour to not say who I'm going to pick.
So diplomatic.
It's just making sure that he knows he's going to see JP in Durban.
Yes.
He might bump into Brayton in studio.
I'm very good friends with all of them guys. So like I said, I would love all of them on my outside.
He's the he's the one that has put them away. They should actually buy you flowers also with Juicy.
Yeah.
Because half the time Jacque
He's putting them into
Put
space.
them into space.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But-
not really, guys, because I hog the ball a lot.
I'm not mistaken, you still got the record for the
Exactly.
We must ask him a question about some stuff. Yeah, but
We're talking about tries.
yes.
We're talking about tries before we vote. Jacque,
Yes.
was 09 against Lions. Was there a try or not?
Yes. Yes. Boys, you saw the replay. When I scored it, I was up. I said, boys, that's a try. Let's walk back.
Let's walk back.
Come on.
Mossie didn't even wait for you to finish.
No, not at all, man.
That's a
Not
try.
at all. It's a try.
But it was, I mean, what a try that is. Would you say for you personally, your best try?
Yeah, I think also have a look at the other try that I also enjoyed was probably 2011 against 2010 against the Crusaders in on Newlands, which also won try of the year for that was also an unbelievable try. But I mean, the British and Irish Lions tries way up there. It's probably on top of all of them.
Sure.
I mean, he had no right to score there.
No.
But I think it's a bit affecting because he ran over Okara.
Yeah.
Okara didn't know where he was. Then he thought Fourie Dupree was on the ground, was actually in the air.
The weakest guy, so I went over him. So
But that shows you rugby IQ again.
You
You're
have
mindful.
to.
You
I
see
think you
where
have to. I saw exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go hunting, you don't look for the biggest. You look for the one that's limping. That's the
You
easiest
can
guy.
quest the box.
You can quest the ball.
But we've got to get our votes in to see who's going to be in the Bokke Dream Team at number 14. Jacque said he wants all of them. So Jacque's vote is each one's getting a vote. But
I still think
No, we'll get him. The first one he missed, we'll let him think about it for a while. Which friendship is he going to ruin? I'm just getting good at Juicy because he can say he doesn't know. I don't know what's going to happen to Juicy at the moment. His pollen is getting... the pollen has gotten to him.
I was just need
I don't know what's in those- I don't
to water my flowers. That's why I was a bit disturbed the other
I
time.
don't know what's in those flowers. Ricky, who's got your vote?
Okay, so Brady obviously is really my hero growing up, but I think what Chesley has achieved, double World Cup winner, and also just the punching above his weight. I think the time in France did him very well, that physical element. And yeah, Chesley, he's going to be my Bokke Dream Team.
Juicy?
Cheslin Kolbe, no doubt. I mean, we see week in and week out what he does consistently. Not just in the Bokke jersey, but outside the Bokke jersey as well. Someone that, you know, any coach can, you know, be like, you know, this is the first guy I'm putting on, even though he's playing 14 or 15, you know, and anything should happen, I can rely, I have that one player that can probably do anything and I can put anywhere and they can pitch up, you know.
And make magic.
Yeah, and I think also, you know, this guy's mindset now is just like, you know, he's in that place where, you know, he's in a sweet spot where he's just like, you know, I would do it for my team and I'll do it to win, you know. At throw edge to any defender. You know, like, you know, I think most teams even try and plan, okay, like they know what's coming, but they cannot stop it. You know, because Cheslin is just very unpredictable, very snipey, you know, and finishes off tries really well, you know. As you said, 2-time world champion, also to come back to win a World Cup after being told no, you know. Because sometimes people think that, you know, it's about what you can do with your ability and your talent. But sometimes you sort of like have to wait for those opportunities. You have to hear those no's. And they need to do something in you, inside you, and bring out that, you know, that individual that, you know, you're not going to tell me no, I'm going to show you who I am. And that's Cheslin for me. And, you know, as I said to you before, guys, and like, you know, when you look at these rugby players and you look at the Springboks, you tend to look at yourself into those players, right? And, you know, as a big guy, you probably want to be like, listen, I want to be like a Cheslin Kolbe one day. You know, I want to be as courageous as he is. As a small guy, just stand up to big guys, tackle them, run over them, you know, and tackle every challenge that's in your life. So it's more than what he does in the field that inspires me, you know. It's even what he does outside the field as well. Amazing guy. So
You pull it back nice.
Yes, yeah, the whole monologue, brilliant. You saved the day. You saved the day. You're blossoming now. You're flourishing.
I was thinking JP the whole time, but then Jesus sort of worked me in. You know,
Cooks, you, yeah.
it's always been, you know, it's hard for me to go against JP Pietersen. You know, I think, you know, Kolbe's phenomenal and I love his work, but JP Pietersen, I mean, that run that he had, and one of my favorite rugby players, and he has my vote because, you know, some of the wings he went up against, and, you know, the finishing ability, the size, just for me, the all-round package, and it's so tight between him and Cheslin. You know, some days I'm Cheslin, I'm JP, but now I'm putting my foot down. I'm gonna go with JP.
Okay.
Okay. Mosie's going with all of them. I'm going with JP.
No, I still think Mossie must choose
We're
one.
not trying to ruin Mosie's friendships. Then he's banned from Durban.
I love all of those guys, gentlemen. I'm diplomatic. I love all of those guys.
This is a coach now.
I look into the future, gentlemen. I need to look these guys in the eye. Like I said, I love all of them. They've each and everyone played a massive part in where is South African rugby wingers are at the moment. And what they've done for South African rugby is unbelievable. So, yeah, thank you to them. It was an honor playing against, you know, with them and against them. I unfortunately didn't have, you know, couldn't have played for 50 years. I would have loved to play against Cheslin, but actually not, because I'm one of those guys that didn't move well when somebody stepped me. So, but what an unbelievable player Cheslin is. Like I say, inspiration for younger players out there. He's just a whole package. Like I said, the whole package, unbelievable guy. So yeah, all of them.
So we're not going to force you to give an answer, but so you say he's probably the most weary you would have been to defend.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I played also against with what is his name? Played for the Stormers, the big Fijian winger.
Oh,
That guy set me also 3 times on a Sunday and once in a week. So that guy was just unbelievable. And for what? For a guy that weighed 120 kilograms, he was unbelievable stepper. So imagine, I mean, Cheslin getting me in a small space. Yeah, booty. Fast on.
You know that guy coming on the corner, you know he's coming one way, as opposed to now you're standing, you go, oh no.
And I think Cheslin's ability that he didn't preempt his step. He takes you one side.
Yes.
So that is why he's getting my vote for my number 14.
Especially, like, I love when he gets a cross kick and the guys cross cover, they think we know he's coming back on the inside. And he'll still beat you.
He'll still beat you.
You know he's still back on the inside.
Sure.
And he'll still beat you. But that's our chat on the number 14s. Scan the QR code. And Juicy's giving us his flowers. Ricky's made sure that Ricky's made sure this was some great insight as well. Mossie's added some tremendous value. So guys, go and vote. Number 14's out there. We're back next week to do our last Bok Dream Team as we talk fullbacks. Until then, we'll see you then.